Welcome to the Floor Academy podcast. I'm your host, Kyle Dean, owner of Illustrious Hardwoods in Mesa, Arizona, where it's way too hot currently, and I'm trying to stay inside as much as possible. That didn't happen last week, but that's okay. With me this week, I have JR Pentolino of Design Windows and Doors from Ontario, California, and we are going to be looking at... This is really bad when you screw it up and then you can't think of what you're trying to talk about. So that's what happened, folks, is I didn't unmute the mics, and here I am. We are looking at leads. How do we look at how long they take? What's a buying cycle? How many of you have even heard that? What's your typical buying cycle for your lead? All right. We want to look at how to stay in front of people with a drip campaign. And we want to look at rehashing old leads. These are all things that JR excels in with his company. He is on pace to do 5 million this year with a goal of 6, and he's making a hard push to make that happen. He's running 21 employees. He's the visionary behind it and also the sales manager. He's developed such a good lead system. He is now selling that with a mistress business, I would call it. And helping other companies be successful with the platform that he's figured out that works for his company. And before anyone stops listening because I'm talking to a door and window guy, what does it matter? If he's really good at the back end, man, let's go glean some information from another successful contracting business, pull it into our world, and find out what we can do. What can we learn from the other businesses? All right, not everybody has to be flooring all the time, so don't tune out JR and turn this off. Let's stay involved. So we're going to be looking at all that stuff, because if you're looking for a client to buy right now, every time, that's not a good way to do business. How do you grow when you can only deal with people that you need right now? If you want to keep your schedule booked out, you want to have consistent lead generation happening and people coming in the door, you need to know what the buying cycle is and how to stay in front of these people so that when they do their initial contact, they're coming back to you 12 months later and you are actually getting them into your system. Instead of you doing all that hard work up front, they don't remember you, and somebody else swoops in at the last minute when they're finally ready to buy and says, I'm here to help you, and they make the money. But you did all the education. That's no good. So, Floor Academy is here every week to help you grow your business. We talk the backside of what you're doing with your contracting business so that you can better manage it, grow it, own an asset instead of a job. I want you to be successful. One way you can continue to grow is you could check out our mastermind groups, flooracademypod.com/mastermind, where we put 5 business owners into a group. Not only are you getting accountability and people that understand you, that are going through the same things as you, but you're getting the different ideas from them. And the best part is, man, it's business therapy for a reason. You get a place to just vent and people that understand you. And I can't tell you how much of a benefit that's been to absolutely everybody. So check out that. We will have a couple words from our sponsors, John Mansville and Tice, a little bit later. And lastly, y'all are my marketing team. I need your help. There's no budget on this show. The budget is Kyle's got, like an hour a week to do this. So like, comment, share, put this content out, tell me what you're liking about the episode, what you're getting, what your takeaway is. Go leave a review, 5-star review. I'll read it on air. And it helps push me up in the rankings on Apple and Spotify, putting this in front of more people. And I know more people need this. I have way too many conversations with way too many contractors that are struggling. And it just takes 15 minutes a day. Start at 15 minutes a day, putting that work into your business as opposed to just going and trying to find a way to generate revenue. You have to come up with the systems, the processes. You have to build things out. 15 minutes a day, folks. It will change your life. All right. That's enough from me. JR, who are you? What do you do? Why do you do it?
Yeah, man. So, yeah, I'm JR Pentolino and own Design Windows and Doors in Ontario, California. And so we've been around 17 years, going on 18. and I'm just a one trick pony. We're a window and door replacement contractor. But as we started to grow, what I was realizing is that we're getting all these leads, we're spending all this money on lead gen. We've had a pretty good budget, but we're only getting people that are bottom of funnel, right? We're getting that low hanging fruit that reach out and go, yeah, I'm ready now. Come out and give me a bid. But it's 12 to 18 months is the natural gestation period for when someone first looks out online and goes, yeah, I think I'm going to do this home improvement. Whether it be windows, flooring, I don't think it really matters. It's just that's the time until the time they're ready to go, which means we're only converting a small percentage of our leads. And so, when I started seeing my database grow to 60, 70, 80, 90, 100,000 contacts, it's like, what in the world am I doing? And that's when I had that light bulb moment. I'm like, all right, we got to fix this. And that is how Lead Speed was born.
Okay. First of all, 17 years. So you started in 2006. So congratulations to you, because that is like a great time to start a business, followed by like the absolute worst time to be in business. So good for you for making it through. That's impressive.
Thank you.
So 100,000 contacts over 17 years.
Yeah.
And do you know the total conversion rate, just like roughly off the top of your head?
I don't even want to know. So we've sold like 10,000 jobs, maybe 11,000 jobs in our career. So, yeah,
10%, 11%,
maybe.
Yeah. Okay. And so, but how much of that, what's your current close rate now? Because I know you have a better idea of your numbers. So like the last 12 months, what's your close rate now?
Yeah, so close rate on total lead intake, that's hard to say, because I'm only tracking leads that convert. But okay. When I looked at the shop, taking the good, bad, and the ugly on Friday, I was at 26.3% store-wide conversion rate.
Okay, so it's gone up, right? Rate. So we've improved our systems and processes because like you said, you had this epiphany of like 100,000 people, and what am I doing with them, right? Like that's way too many conversations to be not only probably the size you are, but to how much revenue is walking away. So with this epiphany, what happened? What started changing? I want to talk about buying cycle, but what did you realize that really had to happen because you were only grabbing these people that were like, I want it now, which is, like you said, at the end of the buying cycle?
Yeah, right. So really what was the initial motivator is I wanted to grow the sales team, and I really didn't want to take on any more marketing budget until until we had more sales, right? It's the chicken or the egg problem. And so I was kind of looking at the business through that lens, and it's like, so what do we do here? How can we get more out of what we've got? How can we increase efficiency? And that's when I started noticing that we were converting a low percentage of the inbound leads to appointments. Once we get the appointment, we're converting like anyone else, but it was that initial conversion. And so I set out to change that. And, what we were doing is we'd call them for a little bit and, try to book the appointment. And then that's the end of the road. Mm-hmm. But what I found is that a lot of the people that we're talking to, it's like, yeah, we reached out because we're getting information, but we're going to look at it in the spring, or it's a project for the end of the year, or, wait till after taxes. We're not ready to book. And then you forget those people. And then they end up going back online when they are ready, and another contractor typically picks them up. So I'm like, enough of that. So we started the first part of this would be, lead to speed, speed to lead, right? So there's our first iteration. And so that is when a lead comes in, we contact them. We have a 30-second rule. We're contacting them within 30 seconds, because if you wait even 5 minutes or beyond, your contact rate diminishes. So your contact rate is 21 times higher in the first 30 seconds to a minute than it is after 5 minutes. So that was the first thing that we really wanted to fix. And then those are the low-hanging fruit, but we're now converting more of them because we're getting to the leads faster. And there's all sorts of stuff we can talk about that I did to speed that up. But a lot of it was through my system and through the automations. The second part would be lead nurture. So for those that aren't ready for an appointment right now, let's drip on them, right? We have campaigns that are automated, and we drip emails, we drip text messages, we have phone queues that my appointment setters call, and then we'll drip on them. Sometimes it takes a year, but I tell you, it's nothing more rewarding than getting a lead to convert after a year. So that was kind of the genesis of it.
Look, I know I can't tell you how many times I've been complimented for just picking up the phone and answering and won a project. I can't tell you how many times I've been the only one to send an actual like quote over and won the project.
Yeah.
Folks, he's not lying. Answer your damn phone. It's like when it rings, answer it. I know it's annoying. I know you've got thin set on your hands, or you're troweling out some glue to put wood in, or you're making a cut. If you are a small operation, getting back to them later in the day, somebody already answered the phone. I can tell you, I went looking for a contractor to do some custom staining for me a couple weeks back to get a quote so that I could put it on my quote and send it to somebody. I had to call 10 companies before somebody picked up the phone. It was ridiculous. I will not use any of them. I will use the person that picked up their phone. Nobody called me back. One person answered. 10%. Be the guy or gal that picks up the phone. It's going to change your business.
100%.
God, it's so I can't. I don't know how any of these companies stay in business. I don't. So let's. Okay, I love speed to lead, and then the nurturing. But I want to talk. Let's go kind of back here, and let's just talk about buying cycle. I don't know that this is something that a lot of people think about, hear about. Right? Again, we're always looking for. I want to close now. If you're not ready, I don't want you. So, like you said, 12 to 18 months. I would say that that's probably very typical as well. These are big purchases, folks. We're going to go poke and prod and look at things and gather pretty samples. And Mrs. Jones wants to feel and touch, and she's going to research on Google and talk to all her lady friends about what's going on. Like, we're not... Just because she reached out to you today doesn't mean she's going to close. And I'm assuming, JR, in your line, you're finding the same thing. She wants to come in and look at hardware, and she wants to see the different design options and what's lead time. And like, there's a lot of conversations before she actually says, okay, let's get an order placed.
Yeah, 100%. Because you got to understand, the homeowners know the moment they take that next step and they say, all right, let's go ahead and let's start getting pricing together. What that means is I'm going to invite a stranger into my home. And if you're doing it right, you're given an hour to an hour and a half presentation and then trying to close them on the spot with the business, right? They know this is what's coming. And so, they got to be pretty committed to make that next step. They're not just kicking tires. So there's a lot that goes into it until they get there.
Okay, so we're getting a lot of questions. We're giving a lot of people a lot of education. They're taking our time, and our time is valuable, folks. We have to find a way to charge for it. I don't care where you build it in, but that cost is built in somewhere. So now we have somebody's contact information. They've reached out. Hopefully you have some kind of form on your website that keeps track of things, or you have a spreadsheet to keep track of things, a CRM. I don't care how you do it, but you better start keeping track of your leads. I will get my lead tracker up, folks. It's not on the website yet. Yell at me. Send me comments and mean posts and emails and stuff if you need to. I will get it up. But we need somewhere to keep track of all this stuff. I would assume at 5 million you have a CRM of choice that you're using that fits doors and windows specifically, or maybe it's Builder Trend or something like, whatever it is. But you're getting all this contact information, right? It's going somewhere into a database. Yeah.
So we're a little bigger, and so we need something a little more robust. So we've built out a custom iteration of Salesforce, and if you've never done that, it's a 6-figure endeavor. It's not cheap, and it's I'm 2 years into it, and we're still refining it and still adding and changing. But it's an amazing tool. Mm-hmm. but it's really good at what a CRM does, right? Project management, keeping all the contacts in one place. What it's horrible at is marketing to the customers. It's not a marketing tool, it's an organization tool.
Mm-hmm.
So I had our developer build a custom API between my solution LeadSpeed and Salesforce. And so now they talk. And as soon as we get a lead in, it goes into CRM, it goes into Salesforce, it immediately pushes to LeadSpeed. It happens instantly. And then boom, we're on it. So my guys are calling, we're sending a text message, and automations begin. And so, a lot of what we do is automated, but you still got to have people. They still want to talk
Mm-hmm.
to people. And so, yeah, that's exactly the progression.
Okay. So we're getting the contact, we're storing it, so we have it, we can look at it, we can analyze it, we can keep track of where it's coming from, how we got it, because we can base it on phone numbers, we can just ask, whatever, right? We can figure all this stuff out. And then we have contact information to get them, and we can track how long it took to get to them. So these are all great identifiers for our sales team to keep them accountable, but we also now have a way to follow up in the future, folks. It's not the napkin on your dashboard. I know, I've done it. I know you've done it. Don't do that. Got to store it somewhere, because you ain't going to find that napkin in 6 months when you need to. Okay, so we've got a lead, we've got it stored, we got all the information, and so now we're following up, right? So you talked about this speed to lead thing, and you're saying if I pick up the phone and I'm the first one there, if I'm 21 times more likely to close it if I answer within the first 30 seconds, or if I'm using another service and I get like the email that, hey, like information came through, contact this person. I got it, like on it.
Yeah, it's got to be now. It's got to be right now. The internet has turned us into a bunch of goldfish, right? And so we want instant gratification, and we have absolutely no attention span. So they're going to be on Google, and they're going to fill out your form. And then as soon as they're done with that, they're going to either open up another browser and reach out to another company, or they're going to start looking at, whatever it is that they're interested in, right? The scores from last week's game or whatever. And, out of sight, out of mind, right? So you got to pound these people quick. You got to be the first on the jump. I've got two stories similar to yours, where, just going down the Yelp list and calling until someone answers. And, it's really interesting. You will business with the first person that actually talks to you. So you got to be quick on the draw. And that was one of the first things that we really sorted out with LeadSpeed, was making sure we were the first to contact. Mm-hmm. And we contact in multiple ways. Yes, we call, but sometimes people don't answer the phone, right? And so we text, we email. I mean, we're reaching out hard and heavy when that lead first comes in. We get a hold of them.
Okay. So there's multiple contact options built into the sales system you've designed. So look, even as a small person, if you can call and they don't answer, send them a text. Yep. And just say, hey, returning your call, this is blah, blah, blah from blah, blah, blah. And, I'd love to talk about your flooring project, or, hey, how can I help you? Right. Find a way, because maybe they filled out the form and then the kid needed something, or they're at work and, they're stealing company time, which, hey, good for them. But now, the boss came in and demanded their attention. They may not see your missed call. They may ignore it, especially if you don't leave a voicemail. Leave a voicemail. And half these people don't even have voicemail set up. I don't know how you operate. I really don't. But if you send a message, at least there's a physical thing there to remind them, like, hey, there's a notification to get their attention. And I think that's going to be huge. And if you find a way to get their email because you're fancier and you have forms on your website set up, send the email out too. JR's right. Just being able get in front of them any way possible. Do you want to win? Do you want your company to make revenue? Or are you just trying to, it wasn't easy, so I don't want to, right? Come on, you started a company. I think JR would agree. Like, it's hard work. You going to do it or not?
Yeah. And, it doesn't even have to be that hard, because we can automate a lot of this, especially when you start. So there's two places where things are really difficult, right? When you're starting and at scale, right? Because when you're first starting, you're doing everything. And so if you're on the tools and you can't get to the phone, you need to be able to hit these people back up real quick. When you're at scale, or when you're scaling, I should say, and you get to this place, and it's like in this I don't know, it's like at 1.5 million, 2 million. We really had a difficult time because you don't have enough revenue to hire the people that you need to support the revenue you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And you either need to like scale back, you need to scale forward. And there's another one that we've been hitting kind of at that 5 million mark. And I'm told that at 8 million, there's another one. So there's these, as contractors, there's these like glass ceilings that we hit, and you got to break through them. And so we've got to work smarter, not harder. And technology affords us the ability to do this, right? So like one of the things we're doing, to your point, Kyle, you get people that will, they'll reach out on their break or reach out at work when they shouldn't, and you call them, they don't answer. And if you follow up with a text, I'm telling you, for people that we don't get a hold of on the phone, text message is where we're getting a hold of them, because everybody looks at their texts, everybody, right? And so that's where we're getting them. Mm-hmm. And we have pretty long hours. So our call center is open 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, essentially 8 to 8, except for Sunday. It's 9 to 6. But if you get people working like swing or whatever, and they'll reach out or they'll fill out a form thinking, oh, they'll call me tomorrow, but they've already forgot about it by tomorrow.
Yes.
We have an automated text back. So if they fill out a form or call, we'll shoot them a text. If they respond, our AI integration, and we're using ChatGPT-4, that integration will actually try to qualify and book them. And we're having some success with that. So nice. There's just a lot of ways we can leverage tech to do this.
Yeah, look, make it easy, folks. I know that we don't all have a ton of money. Let me ask this. So what is your annual advertising, marketing, branding? I'm sure it's all rolled into one, right? So what is that annually for your company? Do you have a percentage that you're going to spend?
Yeah, so we're running like 8%. So it's about $350 a year.
Okay. And so when did that 8% take effect? Like at what point did you spend 17 years, right? So at what point did you start saying, I have to spend money on this to make this go?
Day one for me. Yeah.
Whether it was wraps or yard signs or what, you were putting money into it. The one thing, if I was going to start Illustrious Hardwoods over, and folks, you all know it's not like my main thing at this point. If I was going to start it over and I was really going to try and grow it, 10% gross revenue off the top, going back into advertising. And you're all going to think that's crazy for a one-man operation to do. I don't think it is, because it's going to buy me a wrap. It's going to buy me yard signs that I'm going to put in my contract that need to be in the yard for 30 days after the project. I'm going to start getting some advertising because I want to actually grow a company, and I don't want to be on the tools forever. And so to take that money and put it into generating leads, all of you, and JR would probably hears it in the doors and windows thing. Oh, I do. It's all word of mouth for me. Good for you. Seriously, really, like, I'm not trying to be a smart ass. I kind of am, but like, good for you. I love that you can operate off referrals only. That's not sustainable if you want to run 20 crews. If you want to grow a larger business, word of mouth is not going to do it. If you want to employ yourself and own a job, word of mouth will work. That's not what I want. I don't think that's what a lot of you want, but you won't put the money out, right? So he's talking about spending money on integrating technology, especially as a small company. There are ways that you don't have to answer your phone. I think we talked offline. You have some virtual assistants?
Yeah, I've got 4.
Okay, so 4 virtual assistants doing things for his company that don't cost him a lot, whether they're from America or the Philippines or where. I don't care where they're from. Pay them what they want, and they're going to get stuff done for you, right? Now he has people that can answer the phone for him and get work done. Well, you can stay on the tools, right? And what does that cost you? Probably close to nothing, depending on where they're located. Yeah. And it's going to save you. It'll make you more productive because you're getting the tasks done that you don't have time for. It takes money to make money. We all know this. And yet you won't spend the time on your business, and you won't spend the money because you're afraid that you can barely survive. So, okay, fine, charge more. All right, we'll do that message. Just charge more, and we'll start that. And then when you start charging a little bit more, and you feel good about yourself, and you've built up a good mental space, now go learn how to do the actual business side, and come back and revisit this investing and advertising thing. So we've got our leads incoming. We are hitting them quickly. We're keeping track of them. We know how to stay in front of them. We're finding ways to use the technology to hit them up in multiple ways so that they can't miss us reaching back out. What else are we needing to do here, JR?
Yeah, so that's step one, right? We get the lead, we get it into the system, and we reach out, because the thing that's going to make us money right now is booking that into a sales appointment. So converting that lead into an appointment. Now, if we're unsuccessful in doing that, we need to nurture these people. So that's kind of that second, third step in this process. Whereas we have campaigns and automations built out. You should not be doing this yourself, right? So it's all automated. And so we're sending them emails, we're sending them text messages, we're putting call queues in so that my call people, or you, if you're just a one-man band, you make the calls when you've got time, or hire an assistant to do it. But we're calling, we're emailing, we're texting, but we're not just going, hey, want to buy? Hey, want to buy? Because that's not going to work. So it's more like this. Hey, thanks for reaching out. I see you haven't set an appointment with us yet, so you're probably still looking into this. I'm going to share with you over the next week 7 tips on what you need to look for in your next flooring project. And stay tuned, because tomorrow we're going to talk about the different types of flooring. And then tomorrow the email comes out and we deal with that. And then we just, we cascade onto that information. And if your emails are worded well and they're fun and they're crafty and you've got good subjects and you're backing them up with text messages, hey, I shot you an email last week. Did you check it out? Gave you some great information on this. By the way, feel free to hit me up with any questions. So when we come from a place of service and helpfulness, people cannot forget you. And so that's how we rein in those people. And the best thing is once you spend the time to build these automations out, and you build everything out so that they're going through a progression and, being dealt with. And, we have logic that dictates, if they respond, they go here, that sort of thing. And we do all that for our customers, and we do it for my shop. But once you've done that, it's on autopilot. You just sit back and let the system do what the system does. And all of a sudden you start getting people out of the blue just going, yeah, I'm ready for an appointment. Huh? It's magic.
This is the 15 minutes a day I'm talking about. You build these campaigns that he's talking about, and they're reusable. It's not like this is a unique situation. This is exactly the point, right? You're going to invest the time once. It's going to pay dividends for years to come. And so when he's talking about sending out, hey, choose a flooring type, one, you're providing education, which is what we all should be doing. And instead of looking at yourself as a service provider, I want to be an education person and I want to solve problems. Look, I don't install floors. All right. I make Mrs. Jones's problems go away, and she's pissed that the dog keeps peeing on the carpet and is ruining it. So I have a solution that the dog can pee on a new floor and not ruin it. That makes her happy. Okay. So now let me write up a campaign based around this problem and get it in front of people. Describe the different types of floors. I'm sure JR has one about different types of windows and the different types of glass and heat insulation properties they have. And right. It's just going to be a way for you to stay in front of them. That's the whole purpose. Is you contacted me looking for me, and now I need to stay top of mind in front of you. But I want to be the one that gives you the best information. Somebody else may stay top of mind, but that doesn't mean that they're the ones doing the education. They could just be spamming them with absolute nonsense that's annoying them. But at the end of the day, if that's the only company around, who are they going to choose at the end? So I love it. Take the time. And this isn't difficult. I think a lot of us get caught up on, where do I start? And so my guess is, and JR can fill me in on where he came up with his campaign ideas, but my guess would be you looked at what your most frequently asked questions to your salespeople were, And you started there and started building those out so that people would stop asking you those questions. And then you got a new set of questions and you built stuff around that.
Yeah, yeah, Kyle, 100%. So like, so I've got this one campaign and it's a little cheeky. Some of my marketing is cheeky because I kind of, it's just kind of the vibe that works for us.
Mm-hmm.
And it starts out with, "Have you met Chuck in a truck?" And that's the subject line. Right. And then when you read into it, you go, yeah, Chuck in a truck. He's doing work on our neighborhood. And then we explain what Chuck in a truck is. Right. And then we go and we talk, it's kind of like, well, this won't play nationwide, so I'm not going to use a local commercial, but as an example, but we all got Chuck in a truck in our neighborhood. Right. And so
a lot of us are
talk about
Chuck in a truck.
Well, then we just got to do better, right?
Correct.
We got to elevate. And then we can start talking about why we don't want to use that unlicensed guy that's working out of his house, that doesn't have insurance, it's not doing things right, and talk about the importance of quality workmanship and quality components for a long-lasting flooring install, right? There's so many things we can talk about to separate us from the pack. Mm-hmm. We can't just talk about, why we're so great. We got to talk about, so people buy as a result of the limbic system, right? And so it's kind of like this fight or flight thing, right? They want to avoid pain and they want to embrace comfort. And so we've got to show those dynamics. And to answer your question, like when I first started looking into this, I was looking for a solution that was already out there. And I tried a few. I won't name them because I feel like that would be disparaging what is now competition. But, there's some companies out there that do this, right? But they do it so poorly. And that's why I ended up, creating my own solution, because I knew what I wanted. I just couldn't figure it out based upon what was commercially available. So there you go.
Solve a problem, right? This is what I don't know how many times I have to say it on the show. This is how you run a successful business. Solve a problem, stop selling a service, right? It's the same thing you're talking about, is going out to these clients, and Chuck in a truck is selling a service to them, and you're finding a solution to their problem, which is why you're successful and doing the level of business that you are, because it's all in the messaging, folks. How are you fixing the problem? I don't care that you can install my window. I don't care that you sell windows. I care that you can come and make my busted ass window a new one that's not busted, right? And it's actually heating my home properly, or it's not leaking anymore and the rain's getting in between and there's water spots I can't get rid of. Like, I want that gone. If you're telling me about those things, I am 100% on board. You start telling me about technical details and wear layers, and man, I don't care. That's not what I want. JR's not wrong. Solve the problem and stop focusing on weird things. I got to interrupt this real quick with a quick word from Johns Manville. Looking for the perfect waterproofing solution for your tile installations? Look no further than Johns Manville. Oh, Johns Manville Go Board. Can't even read today. It's time to say goodbye to worries of moisture damage and hello to durable, easy to install tile backer. Go Board is engineered to withstand tough environments, providing excellent waterproofing protection. Whether it's your bathroom, kitchen, or any other wet area, Go Board has got you covered. Don't compromise on quality. Choose JM Go Board for the ultimate waterproofing peace of mind. Visit your retailer and ask for Go Board. All right, JR. So we are getting them, we're nurturing them, we're now building out these campaigns and telling we're solving problems, right? We're telling stories that educate, as opposed to cramming boring facts. And I'm sure the window companies do the same thing the flooring manufacturers do, and that they will tell you all these numbers that don't really matter, because that's not. So where do we go next, right? We're telling stories, we're getting them involved, we're solving the problem. But again, like we talked about at the beginning, they may have reached out and they're only 3 months into this 12 or 18 month cycle. So how do we get them now. Because again, not everybody is. I'm ready now.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and that's the magic of nurture, right? So stories sell and facts tell. So we're going to be selling with stories, right? And we're going to be reaching out to them and offering them things. And look, we can also offer, we can also offer sprinkled in here. We can put in some different things to try to induce them to book. Because once you've educated them and you've stayed in front of them, assuming they're consuming your content, they're infinitely more likely to book a sales appointment with you when that time comes. So we just got to stay in front of them. And we vary the cadence, right? So in the first 7 days, we're hitting them pretty hard and heavy, trying to convert them. 7 to 30 days, we back off and we're hitting them like once a week. 30 to 90 days, we're backing off and hitting them like maybe once every 10 days, and then 90 days to perpetuity until they buy or die or buy or do not disturb or D&D. They opt out. We are hitting them like, I don't know, once or twice a month, because you don't want to be a pest or they'll just opt out. But in that, you can offer different things like, hey, it is, beat the heat sale. Our guys just love working in 116-degree Mesa, Arizona heat. So let's keep them busy, guys. We're offering 20% off, right? Something stupid and cheeky. Get them in there and get them to book. Give them some inducements every now and again. But you don't want to make that the core of the message. The core of the message is, hey, look, we're just here to help you. Mm-hmm. And we're going to work with you when you're ready. And so that's how we get those guys to convert, is by keeping them in the loop, because they're going to forget you, right? They're going to get what they wanted from your website or from that interaction if they don't convert, and then that's it. They're off until the next one, and the next time they're just going to reach back out and talk to someone else, and unless we stay top of mind.
Well, I'm sure you're very much like me, and you've been doing this long enough that you've gone and of course you ask people like, hey, who did your windows last time, or why aren't I'll ask clients, and I know you guys and gals have done this. Why aren't you having the company that did it last time out? Oh, I don't remember who they are. Oh, they went out of business. Oh, whatever it is. How are you going to be different, right? Like, if you need to stay in front of them, how are you going to do that? That's what JR is talking about, is don't be the company that they just, I don't remember, right? You do this thing this one time, and then they don't remember you. Because I know you've probably done projects, JR, where it's like, well, we're redoing this room right now, so we'll do this window, right? People got to do things in phases. Not everybody has $30K laying around to do everything all at once. And so they're going to replace this window, and then they're going to come, and hopefully that same style is available in 2 years, and they're going to get this one done and this one done, or this room and that room. And we do the same thing with flooring, is they're going to say, well, I can only do this part of the house, and then I got to get this part of the house done. Are they going to call you back to do that? Do they remember who you are? Are you going to offer not only good enough service while you're there that they want you back in their home, but are you going to be memorable enough and find a way to stay in front of them so that they do call you back in a year? Because I've definitely been the guy that's gone in and finished up plenty of projects. One, either because the company's not around, or two, just because they can't even remember. So how blah are you?
It's crazy, right? I mean, how many times do we go in and it's like the part of the project was done, and I'll always ask, well, so, I'm curious, the floors look beautiful. I don't see any issues there. What's the reason you didn't call the other company, to finish the job? And you're right. It's either they're out of business, or, we lost the paperwork. I don't even know who they were. I wish we could, because they were great. And so one of the things that we do in my organization through Lead Speed to combat that is, once a lead sells, right, and we finish the work, there's a few things that happen. So we have a partnership with David's Cookies, which they're amazing gourmet cookies. They come in a tin. And so as soon as we list that sale as sold, an automation triggers that fires off an order, and it says, hey, charge my credit card and ship it to these guys with a custom thank you note. And so that happens. Then we send things asking for referrals. We talk about a referral program. And then we talk about care and maintenance of the windows. And then and that comes pretty quick. And then we drip on them by sending them a newsletter via email every month a quarterly newsletter in the mail, and then just a few other things that we're doing to keep in touch with them over time and letting them know about specials. And we get repeat and referral business from that action. But again, all automated. I don't have to do any of it. Even ordering the cookies is automated. It just happens.
Look, I love it. I think the gift thing goes a long way. People think it's cheesy. They don't want to spend money on it. Find something to do. I think, look, you build it in, right? What do the cookies cost you? 10 or 20 bucks probably? It's like nothing.
Well, I ship a 2-pound tin, so it's 60, but it's worth it.
Okay. Well, look, 60 bucks built onto what? What's your average window order? It's got to be like, yeah. I think you can hide 60 bucks in 12 grand somehow, right, folks? Like, come on. So, but it goes a long way. I'm going to guess that the note you have attached, you make sure it looks like it's handwritten, because that's like a new thing to get people's attention, as opposed to you get all this junk mail. A handwritten piece of junk mail catches my attention more than any other piece, because I'm like, nope. That's fake. Okay, let's set it aside. But it makes me look at it. So that goes a very long way. Dude, there was a ton of good. I can't even remember everything you just said. There was a ton of good stuff. Go back and listen to what JR just said, because there's a bunch of things that you can do and emulate, and you will be so successful with keeping people happy. I want to know more about this newsletter. So you put out a newsletter every month. What are you putting in it? Is it just... Because you're not going to talk about care instructions all the time. Are you talking about your company and the growth and employees, or like what are you keeping people up to date on?
All right. So for being really honest, I should do a better job at making it more custom, but I just want the touch point. Okay. So I have a company that makes it for me, and I email them one thing a month, and it's basically like something going on in the business, and they'll put an article together. And then the rest of it is just like general, like things that homeowners would be interested in. So there's a recipe, there's like things that talk about all different trades that don't even apply to us, painting and roofing and how to care for your AC during the summer and this and that. It's just a hodgepodge. The point is not to like sell me necessarily. It's just to, hey, we're still here. Don't forget us. That's all it is.
Your branding's on top, and that's what matters.
100%.
The content inside is, again, it's educational, and that's what you're after. I love it, man. There's a recipe. There's, hey, put really long screws in your door plate. I don't know what's in there. It doesn't matter. What matters is that at the top it says design windows and doors, quarterly monthly newsletter, right? And then they get a quarterly one in the that's what matters, is your logo, your branding, your info got in front of them, and you're being helpful. Whereas every other service provider they've ever had is doing absolutely nothing for them. And this kind of relates to another episode and talk that I've done, where I talk about you got to give back to your community. You can't just expect people to buy from you and not give anything back out. Who wants to do business with you consistently and support you when there's no ROI on it, right? If I'm going to give you money, I want to see you as a local business invest back in the community. It's one of the reasons why we all hate box stores. What are they doing, right? They're not supporting the local baseball team and gymnastics team, and they're not helping the high school teams. And why, right? But JR can, maybe he supports a baseball team that can go in the newsletter and talk about, hey, they went 8-2 this year and went to finals and almost won the champion, whatever it's going to be. Right now, I'm more invested in this because there's a story, and I love stories, and it relates to me. These are great ideas. I really like this newsletter thing. And it's easy, let alone you pay for it.
It's beyond easy. Yeah, I pay for it. I pay to have it done, and then it gets automatically sent to a mail house. And I have an integration with lead speed in the mail house. And so when it comes up in that automation that it's time that these people are on the list for, we do them all in batch. We do it all at the same time. So whoever's in that queue, it sends over the list. They print them, they mail them, and then they charge my card on file, and that's the end of it. It's just part of our marketing budget. So, I'm not doing anything. My tech is doing all of this. Yeah. I do nothing except, I'll change the language on how we're asking for referrals, and I'll change the one little thing about our company. But I don't even do that. I have someone in my office do it. So, most of the stuff I'm talking about, it's hands off.
Correct. It again, folks. This is when I talk about 15 minutes a day minimum. This is where you put your 15 minutes. You come up with this stuff. One day you're going to make the phone call. You're going to find the company that does this. The next day you're going to write up the content to put into it. The third day you're going to set up like, okay, let me link them to my email list with the CRM so that I can get this out to everybody, or the mailing address if you're going to email or actually physically send it out quarterly. Whatever you're doing. These are the things. You come home from a long 10-hour day and you're exhausted, and then it turned into a 12-hour day with a consultation, and you don't want to do anything. These are the 15 minutes you have to spend to make a difference, and these are the tasks that will do it. This is the stuff that changes where your trajectory. So you had the epiphany about like having 100,000 clients, and you've really been, I assume you've been hitting the leads harder in the past 2 years, 3 years, probably. So how fast has that, where were you stuck at revenue wise, and what has putting the time and actually building this leads thing done to your trajectory of getting you to go up and to the right and grow?
Yeah, so it added about $100,000 to my top line revenue, to our sales, within 90 days. And one of the reasons for that is we went from about 120 appointments scheduled per month to 200 appointments scheduled per month.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, it's just like I went from having just enough appointments to having too many. And so that allowed us to get choosy. Okay, we're not going to go out for 2-3 windows. We're not going to go out for one patio door. So those are off, or they're backburnered, or we're going to hire more salespeople, which is kind of what I'm doing right now. I'm growing my sales team, and that's been a lot of fun. So it just gives you, it's added, like I said, about $100,000, in revenue, which is 1.2 million. And that's what took me from 4 to 5. But I think just with what we're doing, I can get to 6 on the leads I'm generating.
I would believe it. Was there a couple years ago though, where before you really started like looking at nurturing this stuff, was there a revenue level you were stuck at, where you stuck at like 2 or 2.5 and just couldn't get over it and you couldn't figure out why, and that's when you were like, okay, something's got to give, let me do that, and then just starting to nurture the leads instantly, put you on that growth path?
Yeah, we were kind of like, we were fluctuating for years between like 3.8 and 4.2, just kind of, ebbing and flowing. I know that sounds like a big swing, $400,000, but it isn't. It's like 10%.
Correct.
So we're just kind of ebbing and flowing in there.
Okay. So you found a peak and something had to give, and finally you got frustrated enough with it and you were like, all right, let's go break it. That's essentially what you're doing to your businesses, folks, is you got to battle test them, right? You're going to go stress test it, and you look at it and you say, okay, nothing's happening. What do I got to go break? And so you go and you start poking and prodding and moving things, and you break it. And turns out doing some lead generation was what JR needed to grow the company, because that makes more people come to you and ask to give you money. And then you just got to find a way to take their money. I don't mean that in a bad way. Like, just don't steal their money from them, right? But they want to give it to somebody. You're probably the best fit. I would hope you would think that about yourself. So go find a way to take it. All right. What else are we? I love this newsletter. It's blown me away. I love it.
You like that?
I really do. I like that. I like the automatic cookies. I think I should have had my wife do it more, but I had her for a client that I was really happy with. I had her do some, like, they're called apple tarts, but they're like mini apple pies. They're amazing. And so I had her make up a batch of those, and I brought them to the client. That client was super stoked, but I should have done it as a normal thing. These little things, man, they go so far away. And here's the thing. Your installers, probably like the installers that I know, we'll make a post on social media when we get the tip, or somebody buys us lunch for the day, or like, it's not every client that does this stuff, and we get super stoked. How many service providers do you think are giving their clients gifts?
None. It's so rare.
go wow people. You want them to go brag and tell everybody. You want to try and build that word of mouth referral only business. Go do this stuff, because this is what's going to get people to go, oh wow, this company's different.
Well, and everything we do, we should have an intention behind it, right, Kyle? So there should always be something that we're trying to achieve. And simply sending a gift for the sake of sending a gift, while it's benevolent and kind, it's not really serving a business purpose. Well, I guess it kind of is, because it builds goodwill, but I want more than goodwill. So one of the things that we do as part of this is, okay, so once we're done installing, we do a final walkthrough with the customer. We do our zero quality defect checklist with the customer, make sure they're happy, the work's up to our standards, they're thrilled. And then my guys have these business cards I printed out, and it basically says, it's got my ugly face on there with a little message that says, hey, we thank you for your business. We consider it a failure if we didn't give you a 5-star experience. If you feel we did, please scan the QR code below and tell us how we did. It means the world to us. I'm paraphrasing, but essentially that. And they'll give the card to the homeowner and say, hey, real quick, while I'm here, would you please scan this thing and give me a review and mention me by name, because they get bonused for that. And so they will. And then when the cookies come, we also have a QR code on the thank you card inside that says a similar message. And hey, would you mind giving us a review? So the ones that didn't in the home, usually we can pick those up when the cookies come. So, and then of course that also begins the introduction into our referral program as well. So there's a lot of things we're trying to achieve by giving this gift. We want referrals, and we want reviews.
Mm-hmm. Look, and it's not. Look, we're all in business to make money, folks. It's not, profit is not a dirty word, right? Go buy the hoodie on the website, right? It's an awesome hoodie, and don't wear it around in front of your clients, but wear it to the trade shows, because then let other contractors and business owners know about that. But it's crazy how people would think you're trying to buy business. Well, I am, and there's nothing wrong with that. I want my client to love me. Okay? If I do it, I think this is the difference, is you're doing it from a place of actual care. You're not doing it just to make more money. Yes, I want to make more money. However, I do it because this person trusted me in their home. They allowed me to provide for them. If you do it with sincerity, that's the difference. People know what your motives and intentions are. They're not dumb. And so how does it come across when it's presented? Are you doing it because you truly want to help other people that are in their situation? Homeowners know this. They're not dumb. So don't get confused on why to do it or how to do it. Do it with pure motives, and you're going to be fine. People aren't going to hate you because you want to make money. Now, if you get super greedy and you cheat all of your employees, that's another story. Okay. We're seeing a lot of that in the country right now. And a lot of people hate big businesses and all these CEOs making 400 times what the lowest person on the totem pole makes. And is there a discussion behind that? Yes, because I don't believe those companies care about people. They don't put them first. You want to run an amazing small company? Put your people first, take care of them, and teach them how to take care of the client. And you'll do fine. If you started making $100 million a year and you were doing that and it never got out of hand, people wouldn't even bat an eye at it. They wouldn't give a shit. I guarantee it. Because you're taking care of people. You're not taking advantage of them.
So true.
Go ahead.
Well, at the core of making a profit, let me ask you this. If we're going to look at this through the context and through the lens of we're going to do the right thing by our customers. So one of our 4 core values is do the right thing, even when no one else is looking. That's one of our core values. And so if we're going to do the right thing and we are going to be here to service our customers today, tomorrow, and in the future, not only to help them with future projects, but to honor the warranty that we've given them, we must make a profit, because without a profit, I'm not going to be here next year. Right? Yes. So making a profit is one of our core values. It's doing the right thing.
I agree. You can't
Yep.
there is no business without profit, folks. One, there's no
Nope.
point in doing it, but two, it's just not sustainable. Even
Mm-mm.
I hate the term nonprofit organization. It's not for profit, okay? They have to spend the money they make, but I guarantee you that they are looking to grow their top line revenue year over year. They can't, it's not sustainable to be at $200,000 in income every year and spending all of it to support your venture. And then inflation happens and it's going up 3% on average every year, right? You have to look to have more so that you can do more. And in order to do more, you're going to need to charge more, which means you need to understand your numbers. And that's a whole, we're not going to go down that rabbit hole right now. Like, I have the content on that. I have the spreadsheet on how, what to charge. Go get the business budgeting spreadsheet on the website in the file section. But if you want to be able to do things like this, you want to be able to hire the company that can do a newsletter, you want to put AI in place to help you manage phone calls, you want to hire a VA, you want to be able to send cookies to people, it's going to take profit. You're going to have to make some money, and you're going to, or you're going to have to make a little less. One of the two. I would tell you to try and make more instead of making less, but hey, you do what you feel good about, okay? Because you're going to it's going to have to come from somewhere.
Yep.
Where are we at? Anything we should have hit on?
Well, Rehash has been
yeah, we didn't even do
something. Yeah, that's been something that's been my latest passion project, and I could touch on that a little if you'd like.
Please, we didn't even get there. All right, Rehash, folks. Yes, let's get the. Please describe what that even means, and then let's dig into it.
Yeah, so Rehash is the I guess I say it's half art, half science, right? Of taking people that you have converted the lead to an appointment. A salesperson, whoever that is in the company, has gone out, presented your offering, passed price, but could not close the deal. So now we have what we call in our organization is a demo no sale, right? It's a lead that we took a swing at and we didn't get. And if you follow up, you'll get some of those, but most people, they don't buy in the moment. Especially if you're a one call close shop, then, they probably aren't going to buy. If you are passing price via text message or email, like just looking at it and then doing that, I absolutely disagree with that. I mean, I have my reasons for that. I know it works for some people, but I don't think it's a scalable model. And that's one of the main reasons. But if you're doing that and you get ghosted, this is another way we can bring those people back in. So it works really for anybody in that situation where we've passed price and we don't close. And so I've been trying to figure this out for years. And, we'd make phone calls, we would do emails, we'd try to get these people back, and we were just getting ghosted, and we were getting very few people to rekindle that relationship. And then I came up with this other angle, and I built scripts around it. I'm like, hey, maybe this will work. And finally, it was actually just this month I cracked the code, and so I built these email and text sequences. Text is what's working the most for me on this, and we're reaching out to people that it's once it's 72 hours, and we've got and it's flatline. We've got no pulse. We're reaching out with this offer that I crafted, and this month I did 50. I believe it. Don't quote me on this. I should know this number, but I believe it was $51,000 over 4 deals that I picked back up that we would have not had. So that's kind of cool, right?
Yep.
So resurrecting deals, yeah.
No, that's great, right? You spent the time, you sent somebody out, they did a presentation, and it didn't go anywhere. Which you're like, well, why? Why couldn't you close on the spot? What happened? And maybe the decision makers weren't there. Maybe they wanted to, some people want to be able to look at other bids and compare, and maybe you are more expensive, but then they're deciding. And so I'm assuming that you reaching back out has some educational component to it, and like, hey, let us help you. Let me get like, what is it, right? Like, what's the objection? Because that's really what we need to solve when people tell us no. Is no's just an objection. When you get into reading a bunch of sales books and stuff, folks, it's just it's no is them saying, I have a problem with something you're presenting. And so ask. I'm assuming that's what this is doing, is saying, hey, why haven't you chosen to book an appointment and get us installing your windows or doors?
Yeah, I tried that approach and I could not get that to fly
Okay.
at all. So what I did is I reach out and I go, look at, we quoted you on a project and, for whatever reason, it wasn't a fit. However, I have a new program. It's called our show home program. And it's a way that we can save you a good chunk of money on this project and still make it fit. So if you liked what we showed you, but you just need a little bit of help financially to push over the edge, give us a call. We'll explain the program and that's it. And so basically we're baiting them, right? It's just like, hey, we got this new program, come check it out. And then when they call, it's much more in depth than this. I'm really not doing it justice because it took me a lot of refining to figure it out. But, when they do call, we basically make them an offer and we trade marketing assets for a discount. And so I don't see that as a discount because our par price is our par price and I don't like discounting. Yeah. So this is actually just a reallocation of marketing funds. And, it's been working a treat and I'm not really giving up much on the price. Not at all. I'm getting nice, healthy deals that we wouldn't have closed otherwise. It's just amazing.
So you said you're turning it into a show home. So are you making them agree per contract that other people can come and look at their property and the windows installed? No.
Not too far. Yeah, so there's a bunch of things, and I'm getting a little ballsier as I go along. So the last one I did, we've got the yard sign for 30 days. We've got before and after photos, and then we call it an expose, but it's essentially just a geo-page on our website where we geotag the address, but we don't post the address. So Google sees it, no one else does. They have to give us an honest review. We don't say 5-star review. We say an honest review on at least 2 social media sites. And then we do an arounds, which is a carrier route mailer, pardon our dust mailer, and then a work just finished mailer with photos of their job, but no address, no name. And the last one, and I was able to get this, is I got them to agree to do a 1-minute video testimonial in front of the work that we completed that we can post on our website and use any way we please.
Nice. I love all of that. I think I know one company, well, there will be 2 in the mastermind groups that have implemented the hey, pardon us, we're in the neighborhood. If you have a problem, give us a call postcards that they send out to the entire block when a project is happening. I like the follow-up, hey, we're done, and that you're including pictures of the project, hey, this is your neighbors, go, you can find them and talk to them. Yeah. Talked about video testimonials. Those are super powerful because it's better than written word. We want to identify and connect with people, but getting people to agree is often hard, but if you can do it, it's so powerful. And then what do you do? You're just putting a map out of using Google, and it just pins where all of your projects are. Is that what the geotagging is
we
for?
do that anyway. Yeah, we geotag all our jobs, on the website. So that's just, that's SEO tactics that we do. But in this case, we actually do a geo page. So we build a page on the project, and it's basically just so Cindy S in Cerritos, California chose us to do this project. And then we have a little, we have a photo of the work, and now we're getting photos and videos of people. We'll put that on there and we'll just talk about the problems. So for SEO purposes, so Cindy S in Cerritos had called us to look at the windows in her home in Cerritos, right? So, a little keyword stuffing there, not too much or you get nailed for it. And then, we talk about the problems she had, the problems we fixed it. And now she's very happy and blah, 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 links to the reviews she posted. And it's just SEO gold. And plus it's, people love to see that. They love to read it. They love to hear about other people's experience.
Well, I'm going to connect more with that story as opposed to you spamming me with all kinds of technical info about, hey, I can install floors, I do real good, or I install windows, I do real good work, right? I don't care.
No
but
one
if
cares.
Cindy says, man, they came out and they knocked it out the park and I love my windows, it means the absolute world. So great technique. Love what you have going on, being able to call and get these people back in and attract them with a new offer. And then I don't think you're necessarily losing money because you're lowering your price slightly, which would probably be part of your marketing budget, but you're negotiating in that they do all of this marketing content for you, which costs you virtually nothing to do. So that works out.
And I'm telling you, the video testimonials are priceless. You cannot put a number on this.
Oh no, so good. And you put them on. You look, folks. They don't just go on your website. They don't go on your Facebook, just on your Facebook page. You can make a YouTube video. They can go on Facebook. They can go on Instagram. They go everywhere. Yep. And these people will advertise for you forever, and it will always be better than you saying number one doors or number one flooring in Alabama. I don't care.
No.
You said it. It doesn't matter what you said. It matters what the client said. So totally agree.
100%, man. 100%.
I love it. I'm sorry I forgot about that. That was great info. Is there anything else that we should have hit on? Didn't you feel we need to add into the conversation?
I mean, from the lead conversion, lead nurture, we've covered that. We've covered how to handle a customer, at the end of the journey, because really the end of the journey, the install should be the beginning of the journey, right? That's where we really start turning them into, we need the gremlin effect, right? So we get that little gremlin, we install the job, and now we drop water on it and make more gremlins, right? So that's what we should be doing with these people and making more customers out of the customers we already have, multiplying them. And then we talked about how to pull them in Rehash. And then, that if you're doing that, you've got lead to speed in, if you're firing on all cylinders and you're automating the bulk of this, I guess we really didn't touch on AI all that much, but it's not that important. Even just the automations are magic. The AI that's just something I'm geeking out on and having fun with, because we're actually getting appointments that AI is booking. So that's pretty cool, only after hours, because during the day, my people do it. But, for someone who's small and on the tools, AI could actually help them book while they're not on the phone. It can't do phone calls, but it can do, text message interactions, and it can qualify and book intelligently. And people don't really know they're speaking with a bot. So there's just all sorts of stuff that, for a third of the cost of a real employee, you can have a 24-hour a day, 7-day a week employee that doesn't miss. And that is what's impressive about the tech. That's why we've got to all start embracing this in our companies, because this is the one thing we can do to like scale, grow, and turn that corner, I think.
I agree. I believe you. There's a lot of opportunity out there, folks. There's a lot of companies that can help you do this. Obviously, as the owner operators that we are, or the small businesses that we are with 10 or less employees, finding somebody to partner with that's the expert in this field is going to matter. There are a lot of companies, we all see the ads come through on all the Facebook groups we're in and stuff of, hey, do you need marketing? Hey, what's your biggest struggle as a flooring contractor or door and window contractor? There's all these guys from who knows what country saying that they can help you generate more leads and do all this stuff. I don't care who you hire, but you better vet them very, very well, and you need to have some understanding of how to hold them accountable. You don't need to know how to do it, right? JR wanted to dork out, and he figured this out because he's grown the company, he has people in place, he has the time to dedicate to this. That's his prerogative, right? That's what he's been able to do. If it was 10 years ago, he might have paid somebody to do it. So because he was busy doing other tasks, right? So, but I guarantee you, we wouldn't have just gone and hired somebody and said, I'm going to, the Ron Popeil rotisserie chicken thing, like set it and forget it, right? You can't do that. You have to check in. You have to hold people accountable. You have to have some basic understanding of what they're doing and how they do it. So you can get on the phone with them at least once a month and have a conversation of, well, where's this going? Show me how you're actually making me money, because I'm paying you but my phone's not ringing and I need it to ring. But there's options. Go ahead.
It's crazy because what you said is true. I'm in a very fortunate position that I actually had the time to deal with this, and it was a necessity. But I tried 3 other companies that had a similar offering. One of them was absolutely for contractors. That's what they preach. And then the other 2 were kind of like general, and none of them did what I needed it to do. So the only thing I could do was make my own, because we have contractors, we have unique needs, right? And so that's how this happened. And now I'm helping some contractors with it as well. Where I've got some people that are using the software and they're having great results. And so it's been a fun journey, man. But you're right, it doesn't matter how you do it, right? If you can figure it out yourself, do it. If you got to do it by hand, do it. If you're going to hire someone to help you, that's fine too, but just get it done, because this is the one thing in your business that it'll flip the switch, man.
You can't grow without leads. You need more to close more so that you can hire more people, right? We need revenue to pay people. So you can't grow without it, and you have to build yourself up that you're too busy to handle everything, right? So the natural progression is, okay, let me get busy enough that I'm too busy for me, and then I can increase prices. And we push some people away, but we're making the same amount of money, but doing less work. And then I get that to be too busy again, and then I'm going to increase prices again. And I get too busy because, I push people away, and then I scale it back up, and I get too busy again. Then I have probably enough income that I can hire somebody to come and be an apprentice or a full-time installer with me. And then I need to be able to keep us both too busy enough that I'm pushing work away and say, okay, I have to manage this. Let me get them somebody so I can step away. And at that point, then, that's where you're looking at with JR's stuff and saying, okay, I have to generate more leads, right? This is going to cost me money. I have to be able to grow. You're not going to do it. How do you grow without people begging to give you money? That's essentially, I don't know that we always realize that. Anybody that's calling you is begging to give you money. Why are you not answering your phone? Answer your phone, 100%. Please. Oh my gosh. Just answer your phone. You'll change your life if you just answer your phone and you ignore the rest of this conversation.
It's true.
Oh, but the rest of it is all very helpful, especially the newsletter. Go do this newsletter thing. I love it. And the cookies, find a way to do something back. I know a lot of guys do like floor care kits, but like if you put some like homemade treats in there, or you send them something, you are going to absolutely wow some people. Do I have anything else? I think that does it, man. Unless there's any you know what? I'm trying to bring this back and I keep forgetting. I think I've been doing an all right job. You got a book? You got a favorite book you recommend? Doesn't have to necessarily be business related, just something that you've enjoyed reading that, made you ponder and you felt better after reading it or wiser.
Yeah. So I think a book that is really kind of transformed, there's 2 of them that have really transformed the way I think. So Traction by Gino Wickman is one that's really changed the way I look at business. And Good to Great by Collins is another one that has really transformed the way I look at business. Those 2 books have been absolutely pivotal. Mm-hmm. And then a third one would be Get a Grip. And I believe that is a collaboration between Gino Wickman and someone else. But those 3 books are like, in terms of business books, are my top favorites.
Yeah, no, the first, I haven't done Get a Grip yet, but Good to Great and Traction are both absolutely wonderful books. Yep. Where can people find you? How do they reach out to JR? Where can they contact you or find you or, inquire about, getting inside that brain of yours and gleaning some more info?
Yeah, man. So you can hit me up. I'm crazy active on Facebook. I've got a little group, and you can find that at quitburningleads.com. You can also, and then, once you're there, on Facebook, I'm at JRPENTOLINO, at JR Pentolino. You can find me there. You can check out my website. It's goleadspeed.com. And you can see what we're doing on the lead conversion side. And that those are the places you can kind of hunt me down, and I'm super active on social. I love talking to contractors. I have a lot of fun with that. So that would be the places to find me.
What's the window business? What's the website?
Designwindowsinc.com.
All right, go check that one out too, because he's got a bunch of stuff going on that you probably need to be copying and integrating into your website, especially with the like landing pages and map integration. And go poke around because there's probably some information to gain from it.
That
Guaranteed.
website goes deep. It's you can get in a rabbit hole in that thing. So yeah, have fun. Check it out.
All right, folks. I think that's going to do it for us. What do we need to do? We need to close it out. So visit flooracademypod.com. Between the files over there that can help you with your business, you can find out all the places where the podcast is at. Go visit the store, pick up a shirt. It's hot right now, but it is going to get colder. And so, I did that. Profit is a dirty word. Profit is a dirty word hoodie. Man, it's a great purchase. Not only is it comfy, but it feels good to wear it around. I've gotten lots of compliments on it just randomly as I walk around town with it on. You can help support the show, patreon.com/Floor Academy. Even $5 a month goes a long way in helping the show continue to do what it does to help you become the owner of an asset as opposed to a business. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, Kyle, why would I give you $5 a month? Man, that's $60 a year, dude. It ain't nothing. Okay. And so look, if you can't find a way to find something in this episode that generates your company $60 a year, you're doing it wrong. All right. Help me out. Help me continue to help you. All right. I know that you're taking stuff away from this show and it's helping you grow your business. Just a little bit, man, like $5 a month, $60 a year. It ain't nothing. All right. Head on over to the YouTube. Check that out. Just put Floor Academy into YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. We're up to like 208 subscribers. I need 1,000. I know you're out there. We're going to do it. And I'm not going to stop until we get over 1,000 and it really gets some legs of its own. So help me out over there. And leave a review. We talked about that earlier. So I think we have some words from Tice. So listeners, it's nearing show season again, and I want to remind you that the International Surface event is returning to Las Vegas January 24th through the 26th of 2024. Mark your calendars now, or you're not going. I know you're not. You better just put it on your calendar so that if that time's blocked out, you can't put any projects over it. And then you're going to go on the website that I'm going to mention at the end, and you're going to book your hotel right now too, and you're going to buy your flight. And you're just going to commit. Okay, just commit and just go. End of story. And the best part is, all right, so once registration opens in September, you're going to put in my name. There's going to be a little box that's going to ask for a code. You're going to put in Kyle, and you get your exhibition pass for free. You don't even have to pay for that. All right, so I saved you money there. And then, whether you're an installer, retailer, distributor, or serve in another capacity within our industry, attending Tice is a solid resource to expand your network and the knowledge and networking base. Just struggling through this, guys. I apologize. You can also learn about the newest industry-leading products coming to market. Stay up to date on the International Surfaces event page on Facebook or at intlsurfaceevent.com. I should have a couple of talks. Look, if you go for nothing else, yes, they have all the new products and tools, and it's the big flooring show of the year. I know. If you go to Vegas for no other reason, because I hate Vegas, it's just gross to go live inside a building for like 4 days. But to be able to hang out with my friends, meet new people, have the conversations that I get to have, like when I'm talking about networking, if you're going and you're not finding a way to add value to your business when you go back to the real world and leave for a week, you're doing the show wrong. Okay. It is worth the investment to just go meet 5 new people. And if you don't know who to go meet, find me at the show and I will introduce you to a bunch of people, because I can walk around there and probably every 10 feet find somebody I know. So I would be happy to introduce you to people and point you in the right direction. Come ask questions, come get to know people, come network and hang out, and it'll be totally worth the investment. And don't forget, you get that free pass. Just use my name when registration opens in September. All right, folks, that's going to do it for us this week. Thank you, JR, for joining us and sharing your insights that have helped you grow your business with not only understanding the buying cycle, but how to nurture leads and rehash them from the dead, That'll do it. We'll catch you next week.